Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And I actually watched this movie several weeks ago, um, or I should say rewatched, because I've actually watched this movie multiple times over the last several years, and I'm pretty sure I did the review for this movie, but I think I must have accidentally deleted the video from my phone. It happens once in a while, so yeah, I can't find it, so I'm doing it once again. So we are talking about Batman Forever, which is a 1995 American superhero film based on the Batman character from the DC comic books series, and this is the third in the Warner Brothers initial four Batman films, and it's a sequel to Batman Returns, right? Came out in 1995. And this time we have Batman, we have the introduction of Robin in the films for the first time. We also get to see the two villains, the Riddler as well as Two-Face, and a very, very, very hot Nicole Kidman. In fact, I think it's the hottest she's been in any film that I know of, that I've seen her in, right? Yeah, I'm very, very happy that she's in this movie. Yeah, so like I say, it's not the best Batman film, but this is one that I enjoy quite a bit. If I'm not mistaken, was it this movie? No, I think it's the next one that I actually watched in the theater with a couple of cousins. But I did watch this movie in the theaters. So, produced by Tim Burton, and this time it's directed by Joel Schumacher. In fact, it's one of the two Batman movies directed by Joel Schumacher. We have Val Kilmer stepping in the shoes of Bruce Wayne Batman, replacing, of course, Michael Keaton. You have Jim Carrey, Tommy Lee Jones, Nicole Kidman, like I just mentioned some time back, and Chris O'Donnell as Robin. So yeah, basically Batman is trying to prevent Two-Face and a newly recruited Riddler. Now, this was at the height of Jim Carrey's fame, if you remember. Jim Carrey was having a ball as the Riddler. It's very obvious to see that he does go a little bit over the top, to be honest, but there are several movie scenes in the movie where I feel that he steals the limelight, and I think Tommy Lee Jones is also having a lot of fun acting along with Jim Carrey. He goes a little nuts as well, but I do think that Tommy Lee Jones was the wrong choice for this particular type of character. He's not the guy who would imagine being in this movie. Excuse me. So yeah, it's a bit of an odd kind of choice for Harvey Dent, Two-Face. He is the former district attorney of Gotham City. A crime boss throws acid at him during a trial. His face is scarred. He goes mentally insane. He becomes the criminal. Two-Face, one side being burnt, the other side normal, and he basically blames Batman for failing to save him. Edward Nigma, or the Riddler, basically, is a former employee of Wayne Enterprises, and he gets pissed off when he is rejected by Bruce Wayne for one of his newest wacky inventions, and he becomes the villainous Riddler. And I'm actually surprised that he found the suit in a, one of those carnival things where you have a mannequin inside a booth, and you ask questions and he'll give the answers. So that's where he gets the excuse me, I'm a little bit thirsty. That's where he gets the outfit. So he presents this invention which can beam television signals directly into a person's brain, and this can cause a lot of problems. Bruce Wayne thinks it can manipulate people's minds, and therefore he rejects him. But Edward Nigma goes berserk. He kills his supervisor, who's abusive to him, and he stages it as a suicide. He resigns and he starts plotting against Bruce, and then, of course, by way of that, Batman as well. Yeah, I did want to. Ed Begley Jr. plays the supervisor, so yeah, another familiar face. The head doctor of Arkham Asylum is Dr. Burton is played by Rene Auberjonois. I don't know not know for the life of me how to pronounce his name. Of course, he is beloved Odo from Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Absolutely love the guys. And there's also a brief cameo by the back then girl band En Vogue, who I remember for a couple of songs, but I wasn't a big fan of theirs. John Favreau also plays a small role as assistant number 2 in this film. And Debbie Mazar is in this movie as Spice, and Drew Barrymore is in it as Sugar. So, yeah, and you get to see Robin, who wants, what's his actual name in the movie? There's Richard Dick Grayson, Robin. He is a circus acrobat along with his family, and they are killed when Two-Face basically attacks the circus event where Bruce Wayne is, and he wants revenge for the death of his family, and Bruce is kind of reminded a little bit about himself as a young man, as he was a young boy comparatively, but he does see a little bit of him in the now orphaned Richard Grayson, and then he takes him in as his ward. Dick Grayson discovers the Batman. The Batcave discovers, that Bruce Wayne is a Batman, and then he wants him to become his new fighting partner. Urged on by Alfred Pennyworth, who's a little worried about Bruce Wayne, a Batman going all alone, he becomes friends with Dick Grayson, and he encourages him to fight along with Batman. And finally, the Batman has got to let someone else in and accept the fact that he needs some help, and bring him in as his sidekick. So like I said, Jim Carrey, even though I do think he goes, especially when he's Edward Nigma in the beginning part, he goes a little over the top. But I do love his performance as the Riddler. He's really funny as well. The dancing, the way he looks at this. Only Jim Carrey can do that. Val Kilmer, was he a good Batman? I think so. I mean, I didn't have a problem with him back then, and I still don't have a problem with him now. I think he was actually a pretty good Batman. Although, I must say that he seems to be overshadowed by the talents of Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey, especially the hotness of Nicole Kidman. So he seems a little bit sedate. But I still think he did a fine enough job. I have my favorite Batmans, so that's for another day. Chris O'Donnell, I've never been the biggest fan of Chris O'Donnell. He kind of plays the same character in almost every thing that I've seen him in. What's that show he's actually in now? NCIS, something like that? Excuse me, let's have a quick check. Yeah, he's in NCIS in Los Angeles. He's 54 now, man. We are all getting old. But yeah, whatever I've seen him in, he kind of seems the same. Pat Hingle is still there. Drew Barrymore and Debbie Mazar, they just seem to be there for the kicks, and they're fun to see. And of course there's that romance factor, that sexual tension between the Batman and the lovely, what's her name in this movie, Dr. Chase Meridian, psychologist and love interest of Bruce, as well as she actually kind of likes, she's actually connected with both of them, but she decides to go for Bruce, and the Batman is actually happy that she chose his real persona compared to the Bat. And yeah, there is the damsel in distress part. At the end, they actually do not continue to get together. She leaves.
This is the only device. There are no other devices or contacts to drop in on.
Oh, yeah.
To drop in on this device.
Stop. Yeah, sorry about that. It happens once in a while. I do not call it Alexa, I call it the other word. So who else is in this movie? Excuse me. Ed Begley Jr. does it's a very small role, so that's basically it. Um, so yeah, what at the end, yeah, that is creepy. Um, the fact when uh, Edward Nigma, having had all the Two-Face is killed. Edward Nigma gets an overdose of data and knowledge and stuff, and he goes completely bonkers. Like he wasn't actually bonkers, but uh, when uh, when Dr. Chase Meridian comes to see him, you he it looks creepy as hell when he says he's in Arkham Asylum after all, and he says I am the Batman, and then Bruce goes back to fighting crime. With only Robin by his side, Chase is not there, and yeah, that's basically the film. It was made on a budget of $100 million. It made $336.6 million at the box office. Pretty sure it did a lot more on the DVD, Blu-ray, VHS tapes, and yeah, didn't have much of an issue with this movie. Was released on VHS and Laserdisc in 1995 October. Towards the end of October, and sold 3 million copies. DVD and Blu-ray, as well as Ultra HD Blu-ray release that happened just over 5 years ago. There's some what do you call it, deleted scenes. Yeah, some people found it loud, sometimes boring. What do you think? But that's what a lot of people agree that it's held together has been the charisma of Jim Carrey and Tommy Lee Jones as well. I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. I still find it to be pretty a good movie to watch. I am okay with it. That's basically what I want to give in my review. So that's it, guys. That's for Batman Forever, and I shall come back with another review pretty soon.